What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 77 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully, you guys are all doing fantastic. Yes, we're back. It's been a little while since we were last here. I do apologise for that. This week, I've actually been streaming quite a lot of Football Manager over on Twitch and having a load of fun with it. We've got a Leeds United save going on. I don't know what it is. There's something about teams beginning with the letter L, I guess. We've got Leverkusen, Leeds, Lyon, Lyon. It's been the year of the L. I mean, as in teams beginning with L, not the year of losses. But yeah, we're back. If you heard a car honk just outside my house, it's hot today. I've got a window open. So if you hear seagulls, background noises, just take it in as part of the video experience. And yeah, let's just continue, I guess, where we've been kind of going with this, which is, of course, in Ligue 1, where we're kind of settled now. I feel like kind of top four finish. And our focus really has shifted to just trying to, well, really, maybe find a few good wonder kid kind of players for the future, but ultimately just kind of bed in some of the younger players in our team and give them some regular first team football. Now, before we get too far into this, obviously you can catch the Leeds United stream VODs over on Twitch. Would you guys like me to upload them to YouTube? And I ask this having done about 4 or 5 streams in the last week, which I haven't uploaded the VODs for. I have them all recorded. I could edit them down and upload them to YouTube. The only issue really is that some of the streams were like 6 hours long, which is quite a long video to commit to watching on YouTube. I kind of wish there was a means by which I could edit them down myself. But I will try and remember to set up a poll of some description. But let me know in the comments your thoughts. Would you rather watch them on YouTube if you were going to watch them? I know you can watch them on Twitch with the chat. I feel like with uploading just streams straight to YouTube, it's always a little bit tricky. You know, and maybe a little bit subpar to watch a stream where you know that there's a chat that you can't participate in and that you can't see. So I am kind of keen to know your thoughts on this. I did notice PSG just lost to Marseille, which is a crazily big result. Monaco now in pole position, ready to win the league. I mean, could we catch PSG? We have 2 games in hand. We could close the gap to 5 points. I really feel like now we've got to focus on the Champions League and just doing as well in all the various competitions that we are still competitive in. But yeah, let me know what you think of the stream VOD stuff. I would be curious to know your opinions. In terms of for this game here, I don't know what I really want to change. We've got Depay out injured, Moreno's out injured, Gabels and Auger and Lucas Romero are still coming back from injuries of their own. We will put Ollison on the bench, I think, for today's game, the 16-year-old, and maybe just see what he can do on off the bench. Obviously, against Gungan, we should be beating them, but they're not a bad team by any means. If we just look at their team, it's full of pretty good players. I mean, who has the highest average ratings for them in their team? Olsen, who's not available, but then it's Thuram here, who looks very, very good. You can see Gungan are up in 5th, so don't let the fact that a lot of their players have kind of crappy average ratings kind of, I guess, distract you from the fact that actually they aren't going to be an easy team for us to play here. But I don't know, with a home team, we're going to go with the crowded out midfield, and well, we'll see how we get on, won't we? So yeah, as I mentioned, I've got a window open today. I feel like I'm talking about the weather. That's usually what happens when you've not got as much to talk about. But no, it's been crazily hot across Europe recently. My flat has 2 massive windows and it's south-facing. That's another car horn. Thank you very much. What do you do? What do you do? It was either a case of record a video where I'm sweating buckets and feel visibly uncomfortable, or have a window open so I can at least get by. I like have a fan that I could have turned on, but it's really annoying and loud. I mean, are car horns the lesser evil than office fans just making noises in the background? Answers on a postcard, please let me know. But Trincao has got his first goal of the season. Moise Keane with the assist as well. A big switcher play. Trincao made the call to play him ahead of... gosh, the name's gone from my head. Why is the name gone from my head? Made the call to play him ahead of Malcolm. For some reason in my head I wanted to say Marcelo, but that is a different Brazilian player who plays in La Liga. But no, made the big call to play Trincao here, and he's immediately repaid us. Wasn't the most convincing of finishes, but hey, we'll take it to start the game. And while Aouar, could you get another goal? We need Aouar to fill the boots of Fekir, and while Keane probably should have done better with the rebound there, shouldn't he? The keeper parried it out well, but Gungan right now, they're on the back foot. I feel like we've got them on the ropes. And whilst we've got them on the back foot here, We need to turn up the heat. We need to start applying the pressure. Turn the screw, really, I guess, force them back and try and break the deadlock. Well, we've already broken the deadlock, but break it further. I want 1 or 2 more whilst we're on top in a game like this, and while there might be a chance here, Moise Kean, the ball almost made its way through to him. Unfortunately, Gungam did deal with it, but we're coming back at them again here. Kingsley Coman cuts inside on his right foot. So good until the finish. So good until the finish. A lovely little run, broke through onto his right foot. I imagined it hitting the back of the net. Unfortunately, it was saved again. Set piece now here. Falls to Coman. Could he have another go? Of course he can. That's what I imagined. Wow. Okay, 2 goals up here. This is the perfect start to today's episode. It was always going to be a tricky game, this one. I feel like this year we've been very hit and miss, but games like this are ones that we really do need to win. Ultimately, this year, we need to be finishing 3rd place as a minimum behind Monaco and PSG. Or they're still a few points ahead of us right now. But well, if we could get a 3rd goal before half-time, we'd be in dreamland. I mean, who is Fekir? I don't remember a guy called Fekir. Nah, never heard of him. Not missing him. Friendship ended with Fekir. Awar is our best friend now. And at the break, it's going to be 2-0. I'm very, very happy with that, boys. Please keep it going. We'll have to see how we get on in this second half, but I'd like to see us get a few more goals. Possession's been very 50-50, but you can just see the sheer quantity of chances we've had has been immense in this game, and there's been some good chances in there too. Hopefully we can keep things going here and maybe find another 1 or 2 sooner rather than later, as Coman dispossessed all the way back to Wallace. I mean, I feel like we've turned a corner this season. We had such an awful first month of the year, and since then, to be honest, we've really not been that bad. Militao with a little cheeky 360, whips into Moise Kean, saved. Can he get the rebound? He can't. It's blocked away. Heroic defending by Gungam there to, well, keep the game to a 2-goal deficit. That is how close we were to getting that 3rd goal that we crave. I mean, the good news is Moise Kean looks very, very sharp up top. If he could score one, I feel like it would be deserved in this game. He's been obviously huge for us. He got that assist on the 1st goal, and he's had a decent amount of chances. Awar here, maybe with a chance. Lovely little finish by him. 3rd goal of the season. Ndombele, potentially, obviously on his way to Spurs in real life, with the delightful little pass across. And, at 3-0, I think it's time to unleash Emil Olsson. Let's see what the 16-year-old can do, shall we? I'm going to make another change, actually. I'm going to take Trincao off and just kind of protect his fitness a little bit. I've not taken off. I didn't mean to say Trincao. I meant Coman. But actually, Trincao can come off. He's not, 100% match sharp. It's not the worst change in the world. I was thinking in my head I wanted to change Coman, but I've just changed the wrong player. And while speaking of Ndombele, future Spurs player, if you believe what you read, he's now got a goal to add to his collection. 4 goals up. This is the kind of emphatic win that we've not been able to carve out this year. The shooting boots are finally on. Ndombele smashes it home. I mean, maybe Fekir was just holding us back. 18 minutes left. We've got one last sub we can make. I am going to bring in Shadas. Can we have a hashtag welcome back Shadas in the comments? Out on loan at Newcastle for the first half of the season. Due to the departure of Fekir, needed a playmaker to come in and be backup to both Awar and obviously with Auger out injured, needed kind of a player who could maybe slot in there. And I feel like Shadas is that man, so it's nice to have him back in the team. He did make a few first-team appearances when he first moved to us, but I kind of felt like in order to really develop, we needed to give him regular first-team football. He's had a few different loan spells, but with Fekir leaving and us not really wanting to fork out for an immediate replacement, he was the ideal player just to recall back. And well, speaking of the devil, he has a go, oh my word. I mean, it's an ambitious effort, but I can knock the confidence there. He's tried to chip the keeper from like 30 or 40 yards out, and now he's going to be on the corner, which is whipped in. Toussaint with a very Toussaint-y foul there. Just breaking down the play, takes the yellow card. Kind of unnecessary, and by kind of, I mean completely unnecessary. Lopez called into action for one of the first times we've seen all game. It was a fairly tame effort at him. I mean, I would really like us to keep a clean sheet in this game now, given how this has gone. Shadas bringing it forward to Ndombele. Now Coman drifting inside in that inside forward role. Lays it off to Shadas. He's been very involved since he came on. Ella Militao to Maulida, who dinks it into Kingsley Coman. Keeps it in play, crosses it in. Shadas is there. I mean, welcome back, Shadas. 5-0. Wow. It's been a while since we've had a massive win like this. I've kind of forgotten what it feels like. Coman with a nice little assist, which is always good. Shadas lurking away. He spent some time at the Toon. He's been watching the movie Goal on repeat for 6 months. He's unleashed his inner Santiago Munez there with that finish. And 5-0 is how this is going to finish. What a fantastic little performance. Very, very clinical with the chances that came our way. And that's going to help our goal difference massively. You can see Auxerre 2 points ahead of us, but we have a game in hand. So, I mean, third place looks ours for the taking, I feel like, at this point. With, is it 14 games left of the year? For most teams, it's 14 games left. For us, it is 15 games left. Still hoping that maybe Monaco can have the biggest bottle ever, but it's a little way off. Durand playing in goal for Lyon gets the full game. Kone played a rare 90 minutes for Sochaux. That's really good news for him. Definitely needs that. Tizzy picked up 2 goals despite Sochaux losing 4-2. I mean, that's pretty good for Enada. He's got 6 goals this year. That's not a bad total at all for a newly promoted side. Ferreira playing for Brest didn't have a game to remember. DJ playing for Brest didn't have a game to remember. And Coman actually surprisingly picked up man of the match. I thought Ndombele might have pipped him to it. But no, it is Kingsley Coman who picks that up. I'm now remembering that the transfer window isn't closed. So Manchester United have been interested in Coman, which just does scare me just a little bit. Nantes want to loan Joseph Johnson from us, the Nigerian youngster. Can we get like a little monthly fee off them? They're probably going to just reject this outright. Okay, they've negotiated. 80k a week, Nantes. How about 70? 70 seems fair. So they're going to loan him to the end of the year. That'll be really good regular first team football for him, to be fair. Nigerian international goalkeeper. He's kind of wasted a little bit on the bench. I'm surprised he's getting caps for Nigeria, because Nigeria traditionally have quite good keepers. The bid for Hugo Rossa that we put in has been rejected. Does he have a release clause in his contract? Yeah, 9 million. It's a little out of our budget, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I say that, it's literally within our budget, but I don't feel like it would be financially prudent to spend all our money on him. Of course, if you missed last episode, we did a load of regen hunting. We've got a lot of players we're in the process of scouting. And with the transfer window still open, we could still make a late move or two for 1 or 2 players. But of course, you know, with younger players, there's not necessarily a pressure to sign them immediately. The space could leave Lyon. Is my contract up at the end of the year? I mean, at this point, I probably want to get that renewed, considering how much I'm underperforming. Finances, personal, new contract. Your job performance thus far hasn't deserved an early extension. I mean, I don't want to leave Lyon, but we have kind of floated around the idea that we could maybe do it at the end of the year. I feel forced out at the moment. I feel like the project I'm building here is being pulled from underneath me. And I'm not particularly happy about it. Anyway, we're on the verge of deadline day. In fact, we're on deadline day. Let's take part in it. I'm not actually going to answer the questions. I don't know why I've hit take part. It feels rude not to take part in it, I guess. Let's have a look. Who are the best players who are 19 or younger who we have scouted? This guy is Singaporean. Ooh. I love it when you get a player with a slightly abstract, nationality. A Singaporean playmaker. Now, he is also, not playmaker, winger, but he is also part Spanish, and I have a sneaking suspicion he'll end up playing for Spain, at least at youth level. You can see, obviously, the estimated costs here as well on some of these players. Luciano's good, but I feel like he's just Brazilian, and of course, with the foreign player limits of kind of non-EU players that you have in France, that's kind of a problem. Tell you what, let's just get rid of the value. I'm feeling like I'd rather sign one really good wonder kid than 5 subpar ones. This guy Keita looked very, very good when we scouted him. He's inconsistent and he's not good at penalties. And his long shots are bad too. For some reason I thought that the long shots icon actually looks quite similar to the penalty icon. SI, please fix. He scored 5 goals for them in League 1 this year. I mean, it's tempting, isn't it? I guess the question is, how much money are they going to want for him? 4.8 probably is where we're going to settle here. Yeah, 4.8 million. I already have a lot of strikers, but he is French. I like him, but I really don't need strikers. And I think I probably have better strikers than him. So the more I think about it, the more I'm like, that's a stupid transfer. And I'm sure lots of you guys were spamming just as much in the comments. This guy is valued at 150k, estimated asking price. 18 years old, centre mid. He is just Brazilian, but £150,000 a week, estimated cost. I mean, I now feel like they're just going to ask for his release clause, despite what my scouts have told me. Let's find out, shall we? Yeah. You've lied to me, scouts. You've hurt me there. You got my hopes up about an estimated asking price. I guess he's probably signed a new contract recently. If I had to hazard a guess. See, the thing is, most of these players, they're just not going to want to sell the teams that they play for. We looked at this guy before, didn't we? I do quite like him. I do quite like him at 19. Has a minimum release clause of 1.9 million. What if we did that, but then offered a loan back length until the end of next season? Gives him regular first team football. He can learn French in the meantime. And there's lots of very big teams interested in him. Which makes me feel like he's definitely worth the money. Again, it comes back to what we were looking at before. You know, last time when we were eyeing up players, where it's like, teams are looking at these players, it probably means there's something quite special about them. So we'd be loaning this guy back for a year. Now, because of how low his release clause is, I'm kind of happy to offer him a large contract, but I'd love to get him tied down to a super long-term deal by including an optional contract extension. He's happy with that. We've just got to keep an eye out for, you know, the likes of Manchester United. I think Manchester City were interested in him as well. Basically, all those teams coming in for our players. Joseph Johnson's going to go out on loan. I have seen that Militao's had an offer made on him, and that does scare me a little bit. Carey, I don't want to loan out right now. Grange, I don't want to loan out right now. David has had a loan offer for him. I don't know if we're at the limit for players that we can loan out. I don't think we are. Auxerre want him on loan. They can have him on loan. City have made a bid for Militao. It's only 46 million. That's a really bad offer. Really bad offer. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Masiasi we almost bought is having lots of offers made on him. Militao wants to talk to me. Lopez, can you solve this? No. Right, let's talk to you, Edda. Finances weren't right on the deal. An acceptable offer, 120 million. Okay, we're a little way apart here, Edda. That's annoying. So we're going to sign Jay Juan. Militao's going to be unhappy, but I'm hoping that, you know, shortly into the transfer window closing, he'll be happy again. He's got a long-term contract at the club. You know, we're not under really immediate pressure to what do you call it, to do anything with him in terms of sell him. We just don't need to. So this guy's going to go back on loan to Jean Buc. I don't think that's how you say the team's name, but we'll go with it. But he's going to go back on loan to them. He's played lots of football for them and done quite well there. And to be honest, another year and a half of him being there is probably going to be quite a good thing for him. Hopefully he can, you know, get regular international football there. I'd be concerned that if he came to us, wasn't playing regular first team football, that, well, just down the line, basically, he just wouldn't get any international football because he just wouldn't be playing enough. He's not the best player defensively, but his physicals, his technicals are just so good. I mean, his technicals aren't crazily good, to be fair, but for a player of 19, they're more than adequate, especially for a wing-back. He just needs to improve defensively. What's your reaction to the reported interest in him leaking? I mean, he's signed for us. He's literally joined us. Why are you asking me this question? Oh, okay, we've hit the domestic loan limit for players. That's kind of funny. I knew that we were covered up to it, but I guess it's official. So no more loaning out players to French clubs, guys. The dream's dead. I'm pretty happy with loaning out that Korean fullback. And the price that we've got him for, less than £2 million, is really, really good. Make no mistake, I am a happy bunny about that. Our scouts have found Rodrigo and are recommending him. Who's this guy? Pablo Goni. He's good. He's not great, is he? He's not super standout. We looked at this guy before and I really liked the look of him then, and I'm now thinking about him again. I'm thinking I really like the look of him now. He has a great name as well, Adiwale Sunday Okorowanta. I mean, it rolls off the tongue just seamlessly, but I know they're going to want crazy money for him because he does look that good. It's not been the busiest deadline day so far. PSG selling Kara to Manchester United for just shy of 30 million. Kera's a good little kind of, I don't want to say backup player, but I feel like, you know, either-footed, can play centre-back well and is good at right-back and left-back. He's kind of the perfect defender to have on the bench. But I am very surprised that it's United of all teams who have moved in for him. Because I don't feel like he's Manchester United quality, at least as a regular starter. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Please let me know. I mean, I really don't want to sell Militao, but if the right offer came in, it might happen. I mean, the thing is, he's still got, what, 3.5 years left on his current contract? Like, he can try and force a move, but really, I don't need to sell him. And the kind of money I'd need to replace him is just unspeakable. In fact, money might not even replace Eder Militao. Like, he's that well-rounded a player. There's just not many players like him. Like, I'm not entirely sure that even with, you know, £80 million, I could find a player who does the job that he does for us. I think that would actually be almost the biggest challenge. I really need to remove Trincao or make him unavailable for loans, because teams are just trying to loan him constantly. They need to take the hint. Kind of find it funny that Wolves are all teams, kind of the one being linked with him. I guess it's their Portuguese links rearing their heads again. How's Guri been doing? He's not even been playing championship football regularly. Kind of an indicator of just how much his early injury has impacted him. As for Karamo, he's done okay since he went to Middlesbrough on loan. Average rating of 7.03 for someone playing at a lower Premier League team is not too bad at all. Right, let's see how we can get on here. We've got Marseille in our next game. They're down in 9th, but this is the French Cup 10th round. Man, the French Cup has a lot of rounds, doesn't it? Transfer window roundup, the big sale, of course, Fekir, our sale. Marseille were the biggest spenders. Who did they spend money on? Who did they flex on? They brought in Zaracho. To be fair, he looks very, very good. They brought him in for £21 million. He's now valued at 31 million immediately. Can't say I'm that familiar with this guy, but he looks pretty solid. I feel like you probably get better value for money if you really hunted it out, but at the same time, I can't really knock that piece of transfer business by them. It's really not that bad at all. Anyway, we've got loads more scout reports coming in on various youngsters who we scouted as part of our mass scouting. Moreno is happy that we didn't sell him. I feel like I really did try and sell you, mate. I'm going to be honest. Just no one wants you. Like, you are transfer listed and I set your asking price at 30 million. Like, if no one wants you, I can't, like, just make you vanish. I'm not Thanos, you know, I can't go... My hands are too clammy because of how hot it is to snap my fingers. Oh, now Juventus make an offer when the transfer window is just closed. I don't want the wage contribution stuff, Juve, but I'm hoping you'll come back in. 17 wage contribution, remove and exclude 27.5 million. Do me a favour, Juve. Do me a favour. Right. So that's Moreno sold. Unfortunately, it's happened that... I mean, does the Serie A transfer window close later? I don't think it does, but... maybe it does. Transfer window... Why does it close on the 18th of January? I've never really managed in Italy. I just assumed it would run until the end of January, but it doesn't. The finances weren't right on the deal they were offering. Just tell him the amount that we've just accepted for him and he's happy with it. So I guess that's something. I mean, to be honest, £27.5 million for Moreno is really good money. Now, Moreno is criminally underrated in Football Manager, but he's only played 7 games for us this year. Well, we brought him in on a free transfer a few years ago. You can see he's never really been a regular starter. So to get, you know, £27.5 million for him, that's like half a Fekir. I'm loving it. Call me Harry Redknapp. I can wheel and deal. Now I only regret not trying to sell him sooner. Although we did have him transfer listed and stuff. Juve just decided they didn't want to actually put in an offer. How has David Diaz been doing on loan at Juve? He's been doing okay. He's been improving a lot as well. Probably going to be ready for first team football next year. Which I did not think I'd necessarily be saying at the start of the year. The league registration window is about to close. Just wonder if there's any players who we've not got out on loan who I kind of want to bring in and play regular first team football. Like Barrow here, we could maybe even start to give some opportunities at right back and left back. Let's move you to the senior squad. You're getting your promotion. Other than that, we've got so many players out on loan with potential. You know, there's going to be some of these guys who we bring back and I think we do make work. I saw a few people mention about, you know, bringing back Gravenberch. I decided I didn't want to do that just yet because I feel like we do have lots of advanced playmaker options and right on cue he's now broken his ankle. So that is going to screw up his development. Saint Maximin is also out of an ankle injury, although his isn't as severe. I mean, I'm looking at players like Pablo Freitas thinking, my word, you are going to be a tasty, tasty player in a couple of years. And Nader as well will probably be first team ready next year. So we can here register players for the Champions League. Now we actually are in a position where we can add 3 new players. So I'm going to add in Ollison. I think Shadas can be added in. And then we have one more player to add in. Auger doesn't need to be registered. Neither does Gabels, which is nice. If we register Ollison, we're not going to need another striker. So James Taylor and Antonio could be excluded. But then I don't really need Barrow in for it necessarily. So maybe I include Taylor just to keep him happy. Otherwise he might get a bit unhappy at the fact he's been left out of the team that got registered. Rodrigo Antonio feels like bad to be excluded. I'm lost for word at your decision to leave me out. What happened? Well, mate, what happened was we have better striking options and you've averaged a 6.6 when I've given you 1 game. And other than that, you've scored 8 goals for the reserves. We've got plenty of options and very few things. That's completely a completely unacceptable explanation. You have to pick your best players and I'm definitely in that bracket. Mate, you're the 6th best striker in our team. What are you smoking? I'm not interested. Not interested. No one's going to be on your side. You're irrelevant. You don't hold a high social standing in the squad. Coman and Wallace are both happy to stay because no one made reasonable bids and they understand that. So Wallace has 3.5 years left on his current contract. I kind of would like to renew it. I'm hoping he won't want a huge rise. Okay, he doesn't want too big of a rise. I'm willing to give him, you know, a contract now to 2026, which would probably be when he's retiring, really, or, you know, entering the twilight years. He's 27 now, so he's a centre-back entering his prime. But by the time he's 32, you'd expect us to have a replacement in the works. But at the same time, he has been, ever since we signed him, really, just a permanent fixture of the first team. So I'm very, very keen to renew it. Koeman... I mean, Koeman has not... I mean, you still have quite a long time left on your contract as well, don't you, mate? Really? Still got Manchester United sniffing around. He wants a crazy contract. I don't want to increase his wage over what we're already offering him. I mean, I didn't even really need to start the negotiations there about a new contract, and now he might be a little bit unhappy. I would like to believe that he knows that his agent's just being a bit of a pain, and so as a result wouldn't kick up as much of a fuss. Gabel's fitness test not ready to be selected. Maulida's not 100% match fit, so I'm going to bring in Ollison, and then I think we'll put James Taylor on the bench. Am I really ready to start Emil Ollison against our rivals? You know what? Why not? Why not? The other option is James Taylor. I mean, these two guys are striking options alongside Maulida, Gabels and Moise Kean. Like, we have just a strike force that I am very, very happy with. I'm just wondering which of these two players I really want to use. You know what? I think I am going to go with Ollison. I feel like Taylor is a better kind of player, you know, maybe as a secondary forward or someone to bring on with a bit of creative flair. But Ollison's a little bit better in the air, a little bit better with his pace, a little bit better with his finishing. Not as technically gifted, but in terms of us, a player who's just going to bang in goals for us, I think he can do the job. So we'll see how we get on here. Big game for us though, French Cup against our rivals. So we're away from home, which is going to make things tricky. But well, let's see how we get on here. Really happy that Wallace and Koeman are happy to stay at the club. I don't want the Fekir situation appearing again and again with some of our best players, and Koeman and Wallace definitely are, in Fekir's absence, two of the big pillars of our first team. Ndombele has a fantastic run there. That effort was not far wide of the mark. What a really good effort by him. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if we can keep it going. I'm hoping that we can do well, and just, you know, get another win here, really. We've been in good form. It's a shame to get knocked out of the Coupe de la Ligue to PSG. You'd consider this game against Marseille significantly more winnable, I feel like. But at the same time, as we've discovered this year, there's no such thing as a free win, really. You have to approach every game and play for the win. And well, that's what we're going to try and do here. Ball cleared away to Koeman, who hits it. That was not the best effort on goal by Kingsley right there. Rocketed over the crossbar. They're playing the 4-4-2, which I feel like we line up quite nicely against. I feel like we can really find pockets of space with our three centre mids and inside forwards to cause problems. Aouar to whipping the ball here. Trincao free header. Another half-decent opportunity over the crossbar. You'd have to say this match thus far has not exactly been full of chances. We've probably had the better of the play, slightly edging out possession, but no clear-cut chances or half chances yet to speak of. And now they have a chance. They hit the woodwork. And Lopez holds on to the rebound, which could have very easily nestled in the back of the net. And we'll let the break. It's not been a classic. It remains 0-0 here, and I need to get shouty. Ollison's not had the best of games, but to be fair, that could be applied to a lot of players playing in this match for us. Not going to say a great deal to the players, just an aggressive or assertive. You know, I'm not happy there. You know, expect better in the second half. We need to step it up. We're taking on our rivals. Do it for the fans, boys. Show that we have some fight in us. Koeman bringing the ball forward here. Lays it off to Aouar. Now with Kingsley again. What is he going to do here? He brings it forward. Not a bad little run. Hits it. Not far wide. At the same time, not exactly the highlights you want to see players like providing you. I don't want these speculative long shots in a game where it's 0-0 and we're looking for a goal. Ollison's been a little bit poor and subpar, I guess. So I'm going to take him off. Koeman has also been disappointing, so I'm going to bring in Maulida, which might seem like a controversial change just to remove Kingsley Koeman. But No one is safe in this first team. No one is irreplaceable. If you're having a bad game, you can expect to be hauled off the pitch. Let's see if either Maulida or Taylor, who's on the ball here, can make a difference. Well, he puts in the ball to Trincao, who's dispossessed. Now it could be Kouame on the attack, bringing the ball forward. Don't foul him, whatever you do. Ball played across. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Shocking defensive work there by our players. I don't really know how to feel about that. That is just not great, is it? They've hit us on the break there. Defensively, what is that? What is that? I do feel like sometimes in that Football Manager Match Engine, players really struggle with the concept of transitioning defensive positions, especially kind of on set pieces where you're chasing back. Anyway, we need to bounce back if we can. Militao, back post to Maulida. That's why we've brought him on. Third goal of the year. It's not exactly a haul for him, is it? Especially when you consider how much we paid for Maulida, hoping he would get plenty of goals for us. But nevertheless, he's come up with a very important one there, potentially. Toussaint switch the play out onto the right. Militao crosses it in, and then it's Maulida just to slot it into the bottom corner. What a response that is. Going to do a demand more shout, but with 10 minutes left, I'm just hoping we can crack on here and just get another crucial goal, I think. That's got to be the aim. And well, I think we're going to... Are we going to penalties? Does it go to penalties? No, extra time. Oh, the drama. Still do have one sub left in us. Toussaint's on a booking. Ndombele's been very poor. I'm going to take him off and I'm going to bring in Tolisso. I mean, Toliso's a very good player to just have to bring on off the bench, isn't he? We kind of brought him in to play left back. Mendy's not done too bad at left back in recent times. So we've kind of been holding on to him there. But at the same time, he is very, very capable of playing the left-back role if we need him to. And, well, I thought he was going to come up big. Do we get an extra sub in this competition? We actually do. Is it just one? Yeah, okay, we do actually get an extra sub. So with that in mind, I'm going to take off Toussaint and bring in Gnan on. I know this is quite a modern football thing now, that a lot of cup competitions, I know it's the case in England as well, the game goes to extra time, you're given an extra substitute. We're going to make the most of that and just bring on Gnan on. Just for some fresh legs in the midfield. I mean, look at the stats. There's not been a load of chances for either team, but we've had 20 shots to their 6. Make that 23 to their 6. You feel like we're the team who's going to score, and well, we are going to score with that. With the free kick, I think a Marseille player there missed a really crucial interception. What a finish by the centre-back, though, on his left peg. Ball looped over, half volley. Just no nonsense by Lenglet. What a way to get your first goal of the season. And with 10 minutes left now, it's just a case of trying to see things out here and weather the storm. And, well, I say weather the storm. The storm has not arrived. Marseille have no response to us there. I don't even know if they had a shot during extra time. But what a performance that is. We really did deserve that. A win over our rivals, away from home as well. That is definitely one to enjoy. Coming back from behind, Eder Militao getting player of the match, got that assist, looked very, very solid defensively as well for us. Let's see what else happens in the French Cup here. I mean, the French Cup might be our best shot at silverware. Obviously, Champions League draw against Liverpool probably could have been a little bit easier, if we're being honest. Durand played in a 1-0 defeat to Dijon, but still regular first-team football for him is fantastic. Aneda didn't have the best of games, neither did Kone, who did come on for Sochaux. I mean, when you look at our recent form, it is really blowing impressive. Like, if you ignored the first month of the season and just looked at September onwards, we've lost 3 games since September, and it's the start of February now. I mean, that's pretty good going as far as I'm concerned. And I think most of you guys can agree with that as well. That's really good. Really, really impressive. How's Luka Jovic done for us? He's not been great since we loaned him out, I'm going to be honest. We did bring him in, obviously, as a free transfer. A bit of a freebie. I was hoping we could maybe flip him on for some money. And maybe we still could. I mean, he's still young. He's got room to improve. But yeah, compared to the Luka Jovic in real life, not quite as good. So PSG and Monaco both still in the competition. We've dodged them, but we have been drawn against Guingamp, which is a teeny tiny bit unfortunate, really, isn't it? There's one non-league team who have made it this far. What's their route been like to get to this stage in the competition? Okay, they've got a very fortuitous draw, but fair play to ASF. Andrezio, I think is how you'd say that name, but you can please correct me. Who's their best player? I mean, he is not that bad. Get a scout report on him. He looks okay as an advanced forward. His mentals are a little bit potato, but he's not too bad at all. We've been reminded that the French Cup match squad must include a minimum of 7 players that were used in one of the previous 2 official first-team matches. I feel like that's the kind of thing I would unintentionally break, that rule, and end up having to pay the fine. Apparently Durand is good enough to be in our squad, but at the same time, he would not be playing regular first-team football, and for a goalkeeper especially, it's so important. I mean, he's in his 2nd year of playing regular League 1 football. That is actually crazy when you think about it. I would love his aerial ability just to be a little bit better. His aerial reach is only 9, I think. We're going to sell Moreno. The board have agreed to give us 7.75 million. I mean, surely we can increase the percentage of transfer revenue. We cannot. But still, that's some pretty good money by all accounts, I think it would be fair to say. And with the Moreno and the Fekir sales, our finances kind of look okay now. So he will join at the end of the year, is that right? Or is he gone now? Yeah, end of the year he's going to leave us. So that gives me time to think about how we might solve that. I mean, we have got young left-backs waiting in the wings for opportunities as well, so I'm not overly concerned. I'm trying to think who our best young left-back is. Who is our best young left-back? It's probably Nick. But to be fair, Nick might even be ready next year. I feel like now it's just a little bit premature for him. But, I don't know. Come next year, I think he will be ready to be kind of 2nd/3rd choice left-back for us. How does Durand compare to Lopez? I'm curious now. I mean, he's still a little way off Lopez in terms of quality, but there's not a world of difference between them, really, is there? James Taylor out for 1 to 3 days. I think we can live with that. That's not the end of the world, although it does add to a long list of strikers unavailable. PSG are taking on Brest. Can Brest do us a favour? Away from home, it's probably going to be a monumental task. We have got a few players on loan at Brest, so maybe they will understand the significance of trying to get a result for us. And to be fair, they've put up a bit of a battle, and DJ even got a goal for them, to be fair. He's actually improved quite a lot during his loan spell. I still don't think he's quite ready for our first team, but yeah, he does not look too bad at all as a player, does he, really? 4 years left on his current contract. Interesting. I think we definitely have money in a few players, and players who next year I'd like to loan out with potentially fees involved for each month. Moise Kean has continued to do well this year. This guy has seen crazy, crazy improvement. If we just look at the last 6 months, you can see slight improvement in all his ability. But if we look at him compared to when he was 20, I mean, look at that. Serious, notable improvement over the course of the last, well, year and a half, roughly. Like, there is a lot to be very, very excited about with Moise Kean and Gabels up top. I just need them really to find the shooting boots, which they have the ability to fill. That's the thing. Like, they're both so good as strikers. Like, really, I am wondering if next year I need to work out a way to play them in a system together, because they are that good as a striking pair. Kind of a thing that you don't really see in modern football anymore, the 2-striker system. Aouar's development's been good, which is fantastic news, because with him trying to fill the boots of Fekir, we need him to step and really be good for us. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap things up here, guys, for today, which might seem a bit premature because we've only done 2 games again, but there was the longer game and there was quite a lot of transfer businessy stuff. That will mean next episode we do definitely the game against Liverpool. Obviously, transfer window's closed now, so we'll be able to get more matches done in an episode. It is really uncomfortably hot here, just sat here, and I think another 15 minutes, and I would be, I don't want to say I'd be dehydrated, but I would be struggling to get through. It's crazily hot in England right now, as I know it is across the whole of Europe. So I'm going to tap out here, As I said at the start, let me know what you think of the Leeds United live stream stuff. Would you like me to re-upload it? Of course, if you're not already following me on Twitch, it's at WorkTheSpace. Do make sure to go follow me over there. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys when I'm streaming in the not-so-distant future. Probably not today, for those of you wondering, but keep an eye on it in the next week or so. Of course, you'll know when I go live, because I tend to tweet about it over on Twitter at WorkTheSpace. But anyway, that's all from me today, folks. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys again soon. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.